So certainly, all of us want to live a well-adjusted life in order to avoid the neurotic personality. But I say to you, there are certain things within our social order to which I am proud to be maladjusted, to which I call upon all men and all women of goodwill to be maladjusted. If you would allow me, the preacher, to come out for a minute right now, let me just say that to you, that I never did intend to adjust to the evils of segregation or discrimination. I never did intend to adjust myself to economic conditions that will take necessities from the many to give luxuries for the few. I never did intend to adjust myself to the madness of militarism and the self-defeating effects of physical violence. And I call upon all of you of goodwill to be maladjusted, because it may well be the salvation of our world lies in the hands and the hearts of the maladjusted. So let us be maladjusted, as maladjusted as the prophet Amos, who in the midst of the great injustices of his day could cry out in words that echo across centuries, "Let justice run down like rivers and righteousness like a mighty stream." Let us be maladjusted like Abraham Lincoln, who had the vision to see that this nation could not exist half slave and half free. Let us be maladjusted as Jesus of Nazareth, who could look into the eyes of his own enemies, who could look into the eyes of his own enemies and say, "Love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Pray for them that spitefully use you." Because I believe that it's through such maladjustment that we will be able to emerge from the bleak and desolate midnight of man's inhumanity, to bring man and women into the bright and glittering daybreak of freedom and justice. And that will be the day when all of God's children, black and white, or Jew and Gentile, will be able to join hands and sing in that old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, together we are free at last." So that was taken from a speech that MLK did in 1966, late summer, July. It's a big, long speech, but I encourage you all to look it up if you want to hear more. And in that speech, it was titled "The American Dream." And Martin Luther King, what he was doing on a national scale is he was asking us to reconcile the dichotomy between our philosophy and our history. And he asked us to confront that in the present. So now we have taken his words and in his inspiration, and we're going to bring it to our own community and to the voices of our own generations, so that we can use his spirit to inform our reality and to react to our times. And that's what the youth are going to be doing on this stage today, specifically in relation to human rights and the different aspects that go along with human rights. We have many pamphlets about the UN Declaration of Human Rights up there. I encourage you all to check this out. The Eugene City Council has voted to uphold the ideals of this doctrine, and there's some very lofty ideals. And our duty as concerned citizens is to hold them accountable. I have a few little announcements to make. The tip can, the funding. It's a bummer to ask for money, but it's the truth. You know, in the days of MLK, they used to pass these cans around or hats around and collect money so that they could continue to inform each other, educate each other, and inspire each other. And that's a tradition that we gotta continue if we want to keep living on this tradition and this legacy. So whatever you got, it might be 50 cents, it might be $50. It might be a carrot. Carrots are good. Michael likes carrots. Yeah. But whatever you got, whatever it seems fair, any donations would be gratefully appreciated.
I'll help pass this around.
Okay, couple more announcements, real fast. World Pies for World Peace. It's a pizza joint on 1123 Monroe. If you go there on Monday and buy pizza, you will be supporting Calc, as a portion of the proceeds will benefit Calc on that day. And they make good pizza, good crew. A good buddy of mine from Providence, Rhode Island, his name's Jared Paul. He'll be performing in Pleasant Hill tonight at 7. And I wouldn't be up here on stage doing what I'm doing right now if Jared Paul wouldn't have talked to me and performed for me and introduced me to a lot of ideas when I was 21. So he's a radical poet, radical activist, and go check him out. And now we will have performances, what we've all been waiting for, the point that I'm really excited for. I saw these young adults performing the other day, and I was walking on clouds the rest of the day. You know that feeling when you hear a lot of really good art, and then especially art with a good message, all in one dose? It's like a buffet of good, healthy art. It just makes me feel so good. I'm pleasured and so happy to share this experience with y'all. Starting up, we're going to have John actually talking about Eugene's City of Rights and his own emphasis, and we're going to go from there. Stay tuned.